Hello everyone, today we are going to see a very interesting topic, that is plant kingdom. It is a very high weightage topic and hope so you'll be very helpful with this video. Let's get started. First of all, we'll discuss the weightage of this chapter. It is a relatively important chapter and there are around 4 to 6 questions, which makes it a very important chapter for the cutoff. So basically, the selection of your branch may be decided by this topic. So this is very important topic you should study if you want to get admitted in MBBS. Let's begin with introduction. It includes all the multicellular eukaryotic and photosynthetic organisms. Before, traditionally, it was divided into subkingdoms, that is cryptogams and phanerogams, whereas cryptogams include algae, bryophytes, pteridophytes, and phanerogams include gymnosperms and angiosperms. Okay, so we'll start with algae. You can see algae on your screen. So what are algae? Algae are chlorophyll bearing simple thioid of vascular plants. They are usually aquatic and only a few algae occur in moist terrestrial habitat. So basically this is a plant, a tuft of plant which is found in aquatic or near water or inside water, and very few algae are found in moist places. Vegetative reproduction is by fragmentation, and there is also sexual reproduction in different kinds of spores. Common being the zoospores, which is flagellated and give rise to new plants and the germination, whereas sexual reproduction may involve isogamy, anisogamy, and oogamy. Algae are photosynthetic, so they can fix maximum amount of carbon dioxide, which increases the level of oxygen in the seas. So basically, being photosynthetic, algae fix the carbon dioxide, that is, that take carbon dioxide and release oxygen into the sea, hence making the carbon dioxide percentage very low. And thus there are three types of algae, that is chlorophyceae, rhodophyceae, and phaeophyceae. Let's talk about the division of algae. I have simplified it in a tabulated form for you. So chlorophyceae is also known as green algae, which contains chlorophyll A and B. Stored food is starch. Cell wall contains of cellulose, flagella, and its position. So it is 2 to 8 equal or apical flagellated. Freshwater or salt water is its habitat, and examples are Spirogyra. Phaeophyceae is a brown algae which contains major pigments such as chlorophyll A and C, whereas fuchsanthine, mannitol, and lamarine is a stored food, whereas cellulose and algine is in its cell wall. Flagella are two and unequal and lateral. Habitat, it is found in fresh water and salt water. Example, Dictyota. Rhodophyceae is a red algae. Chlorophyll A, D, and phycoerythrin is found in it. Floridin starch is stored, whereas cellulose and pectin is found in the cell wall. Flagella is absent and it is found in fresh water and salt water, whereas Garicillaria is its example. Moving on to bryophytes, these are non-vascular terrestrial plants of moist habitat which are characterized by multicellular diploid sporophytes. So these are not found in water bodies, but these are found in moist habitat. The main plant body is gametophytic and thyloid. It lacks true roots, so there are no true roots, stems, and leaves, but may possess stem-like, root-like, and leaf-like structure. So pseudostructures are present in them. Sex organs are multicellular and jacketed. Male is called as antheridium, which produce antherozoids, whereas female is called as orchigonium, which produces a single cell egg. Fertilization occurs with agency of water. So with the help of water, fertilization occurs. Antherozoids, which are released into the water, they swim and comes in contact with the archegonium. So basically, first sentence says that they are non-vascular terrestrial plants, but the sexual reproduction takes place in water. Basically, they are they reproduce with the help of water, so do not get confused in this two statement. The plant is terrestrial, but the reproduction takes place with the help of water, or water is involved in its sexual reproduction. Here we are with another simplified tabulated form of bryophytes. You can see their types, and let's talk about the features. Common name is liverworts, hornworts, and mosses. Gametophytic plant body is thallus, rhizoid, thallus, or multicellular rhizoid. Organs are dorsal surface thallus, Dorsal surface thallus developed from the superficial cell. Electors are generally present. Pseudodilators are present and are absent. Sporophytes differentiated into foot and seta. Differentiated into capsule. Differentiated into foot, seta and capsule. Sporogenous tissues are developed from endothecium. Endothecium forms sterile columella, whereas develops from outer layer of endothecium. Examples are Riccia, Notothylus and Funaria. Please don't get confused and please learn this both the tabulated charts so that it will be easy for you. Let's talk about pteridophytes. These are the spores producing cryptogamic vascular plants. They have vascular tissue in xylem, true vessel are absent. The leaves are pteridophytes and may be small, as in Selenginelia, and most ferns. Plant body is sporophyte. Sporophytes bear sporangia that are subintended by leaf-like appendages called as sporophylls. The gametophyte bears multicellular and jacketed organs, anthradia and archegonia. Fertilization in all cases is accomplished by agency of water. So here also water is used for fertilization. The development of zygote into young embryos in case of heterosporous ones takes place within the female gametophyte. So basically zygote is developed inside the female gametophyte. So you can see there is increase in the sexual reproductive capacities in growing on with the classification of plants. I hope this will help you in differentiating. Let's talk about gymnosperms. Gymnosperms are plants in which the ovules are not enclosed by any ovary and they remain exposed. So basically the seeds are developed after fertilization and they are not covered by any fruit. So seeds are open. Plants possess taproot system and there are also coralloid roots such as mycorrhiza. Xylem does not possess vessels. Phloem is without companion cell. Gymnosperms are heterosporous, that is, they produce haploid microspores and megaspores. The two types of sporals are microsporals and megasporals, usually aggregated to form distinct cones and seed cones. So what happens here is microspore is developed into gametophytic generation, which is very highly reduced and is in limited number of cells, and it completely emerges out from microspore and it is reduced gametophyte, which is known as pollen grain. So basically this pollen grain is responsible for fertilization and megaspore mother cell develops during pollination. Pollen grains are directly carried by wind for the micropyle or anemophily occurs. Anemophily here stands for fertilization or spores are carried with the help of animals. Okay, so pollen tube is formed effecting fertilization. So after fertilization, pollen tube is formed. At the time of fertilization, nuclei of male and female gametes fuse to result the formation of zygote, and hence gymnosperms are divided into 4 types. Let's discuss about the angiosperms. Angiosperms are those seed plants in which the seeds are formed inside the fruit. So basically in gymnosperm the seeds are outside the fruit and in angiosperm the seeds are inside the fruit. Phloem possesses seed tubes and companion cells. Secondary growth occurs in the stem, roots, and some angiosperms are placed in groups of dicots. Sporophylls are highly modified structure, and a microsporophyll or a stamen consists of filament and an anther. A megasporophyll or carpel consists of stigma-style ovary and contains ovules. So basically gymnosperm is a previous version of angiosperm, or an angiosperm is an evolved version of gymnosperm. Sporophylls are a highly modified structure. Sporophylls or stamens consist of filaments, and an anther or megasporophyll or carpel consists of stigma-style ovary containing ovules. Within ovules there are present highly reduced female gametophyte called as embryo, and there is 7-celled and 8-nucleated structure. You can find a very beautiful diagram of this in your NCERT textbook. Please refer this while I am explaining this to you. Embryo sac formation is preceded by meiosis, and so all the cells are haploid. Each embryo sac has 3 egg cell apparatus, 1 egg and 2 synergids, and 3 antipodal cells and 2 polar nuclei. Polar nuclei eventually fuse to produce a diploid secondary nucleus pollen grain. Each stigmatic surface found at the tip of carpel, they germinate on stigma in resulting the tubes. After the pollen tube reaches the embryo sac, its tip dissolves and the male gametes are liberated of the two gametes, one which fuses with the egg and the remaining one out of the two fuses with the secondary nucleus. Hence it is called as triple fusion because there are two nucleus and one from the male gamete. So there are three cells fused together, and which is also known as double fertilization because the egg is also fertilized and the secondary nucleus is also fertilized. This is a very important point, please study it very well. Synergy and antipodal cell disintegrate. After fertilization of the product, triple fusion is endosperm, which is triploid in nature, a structure, and the endosperm provides nourishment to the developing embryo. The angiosperms are divided into two classes, that is dicotyledons and monocotyledons. Here we end with the plant kingdom. This is a very important topic, please study this. Our new video, the animal kingdom, will be up on YouTube soon, and then we will have MCQ on whole unit and its chapter weightage. Thank you.